All right, so what we're going to do in this problem is we're going to solve a quadratic equation by graphing. Before we do, I want you to understand ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 is the standard quadratic equation, right? When you get one, you notice how there's two x's. There's an x squared here and there's an x here, right? So we cannot solve these type of problems by square rooting both sides. Okay, well, luckily there are 4 ways to solve a standard form quadratic equation, one that's in this form right here. You can solve it by graphing and see where it touches the x-axis. Well, that's what we're about to do, okay? So let's do it on this problem right here. Now, the first thing I need to do to solve this by graphing is I need to get it in standard form. Currently, it is not in standard form because this 3 right here is to the right of the what? Equal sign. So how can I get that 3 to the left of the equal sign? So I will subtract 3 on both sides like that. And so I have x squared plus 2x minus 3 equals 0. And now I have it in standard form. And I want to solve this by graphing. So if I'm going to solve it by graphing, I need to do what with it? Say graph it. Graph it. Well, it's in standard form. So what's step 1 to graph it? Find the vertex. Well, the vertex, okay, the vertex is an ordered pair. And right here goes negative b over what? 2a. And then we plug that in to find out what y is right there, don't we? So let's calculate negative b over 2a. Negative, and then b is 2. Over 2 times a, and so that's negative 1, right? So my vertex is the point negative 1 and something. So let's plug negative 1 in. Negative 1 squared is positive 1. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2, so negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1, okay? And minus 3 is negative 4. So right here would be negative 4. And so what I have right here is the vertex is at negative 1, negative 4. But for me to graph it, I need more points than just 1, don't I? So I need to create a t-chart. So I'm going to have x here and y here. And I need to plug 2 points to the left of negative 1. So negative 2 I can plug in, and negative 3. And I need to plug 2 points to the right of negative 1, so that would be 0 and 1. Okay? Now, guys, don't take your time to plug them in. Go to y equals in the calculator. Put the function in. This one right here. Look at the one I'm circling in black. Put it in for y equals. And then go to the table. So when you plug in negative 2, what do you get out? Negative 3. When you plug in negative 3, you get... When you plug in 0, you get negative 3. And when you plug in 1, you get 0, don't you? So now what I need to do is I need to graph these 4 points plus the vertex, right? Okay, so let's do that. So let me get a coordinate plane here on the screen. So here's my coordinate plane right here. And what I'm graphing is I'm graphing those 4 points plus the vertex, okay? So where was the vertex at? Negative 1 what? Which is right here. Right? And then the point negative 2, negative 3 is right there. And then negative 3, 0 is here. And then 1, 0 is there. And 0, negative 3 is there. So you can see that my graph looks like this and like that. Right? Now, we just got done talking. We're trying to solve this quadratic equation right here, aren't we? Right? We said the solution to a quadratic equation by graphing is where the graph touches the what? X-axis. Well, you can see the graph touches the x-axis right here at negative 3, and the graph touches the x-axis right here at 1. And so in this case, there are 2 solutions. Okay? There are two solutions. Okay, so x equals -3 is a solution, and x equals +1 is a solution. So I've got two solutions to my quadratic equation. Okay, so let's look at this one. How many times does this graph right here touch the x-axis? One time. You can see it touches the x-axis right here. So how many solutions does this one have? Just one, and the solution is x equals 4. Only one solution because it only touches the x-axis one time. Okay, look at this graph. This graph is right here, and here's the x-axis, and the solutions, or the zeros, are where it touches the x-axis. It never even touches. So what are the solutions here? There are none. So the answer here would be no solution. So if you get a graph that never even touches the x-axis, there's no solution. Okay, now look at this one. This one's a little different because your solutions aren't dead on a whole number, are they? So you just have to estimate. What do you think that solution is? Let's count. I'm at 0, 0 right here. Here's -1, -2, -3. So it's going to be in between -3 and -4. I'd say like -3.85. -3.85. But you're just estimating. So if you said -3.8, you're okay. Okay, look at this one right here. This is 0. And this right here is -1, so I'm going to say like -0.2. Okay, so we'll say x equals -0.2. And this one's x equals -3.85. So right there, what we did is we solved this quadratic equation right here. How? By graphing.